Alright. Here, we're back. We're on a different level. I'm going to keep that right there. Hi. I go by Rocky. I'm an astrologer, taromancer, artist, poet, creator, producer, things like that. Okay. I was in the mood to do a reading of what to be aware of for the astro transits that are coming up this week. Those are posted in my blog. The link is somewhere accessible where you can go to it and view these things yourself. Posting this in a way, you'll see it when you see it. Anyway, just what to be aware of with the astro transits given for this week. We have a new moon coming up on the 11th, and we're in the middle of a Mercury retrograde that started on January 30th. So pretty much essentially, what is Mercury retrograde bringing to light for you, and what can you be aware of for this week? Just all on one. You guys are probably manifesting something. That's what I wanted to say. So let me back up a bit before I jump into what I got. So either way you flip it, sidereally or tropically, we're dealing with Saturnian energy with all of these planets being in either tropical Aquarius or sidereal Capricorn. Coming to realize the accumulation and compilation of things and how they come to form, and for most people where the root of certain things come from, right? Jupiter is giving us that higher perspective of seeing things in a different light. As I move forward in this video, the way that I'll be speaking on the signs, again, this is specifically for Taurus and Libra, I will be speaking as if they are your rising sign, but it can be applicable to your rising, your moon, your sun, your Mercury, your Venus, and your Mars. And I say that for the faster moving planets because essentially that is part of how we show up energetically and physically to people, and the slower moving planets, which would be Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. They're essentially like the ground foundation of which the energy emerges from, which is us. So apply that as necessary. I trust that you have the consciousness and discernment to know what to do with this energy and the messages that you may come across. Discernment always. Any and every tool and message that you see here used and spoken, they have been consecrated over benevolently because I don't play that shit. This is sacred energy. It will be treated as such. So moving forward, what I was going to say was I had to restart this video over because I burnt myself out. I didn't know that I burnt myself out, but I burnt myself out, as well as my phone died. So it was just a lot going on. And what I wanted to say was, in the end of the edited version of you guys' first video, I simply ended it off with like, this doesn't work for me. Like, this has to be I have to start this over. Like, it's not perfect. And that's a Venusian thing. It's so funny. It's cute. It's like something, I won't say something has to be perfect, but something has to be lavish. Something has to be grand. Something has to be presented in a certain way. And it has to be to a specific standard. Now, this could be a lesson that you have learned with Saturn and Jupiter energy, right? You may have come to understand where you need to set certain standards or certain boundaries, and that's just what it is, period. But for some people, it could have gotten to a point where it gets a bit too perfectionistic. Did I say that right? Perfectionistic. you want to be a perfectionist, okay? And it's, oh, okay, so this card came out in two different decks. It's the double card. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's Saturnian energy. That's what I was getting ready to say. So, I think I already said it. We're dealing with Saturnian energy, but Capricorn came up for you. So, Taurus, that is your, let me think. Okay. Taurus, that is your ninth house. I had to think. Aquarius, that is Aquarius. You could be dealing with an Aquarius. Aquarius is in your 10th house. So again, either way you flip it, sidereally or tropically, we're dealing with Saturnian energy. So with Capricorn being in your ninth house, you're having a higher understanding of why things came to form the way that it did. You could have understood why there were certain boundaries that you needed to enforce, especially when it comes to your goals and where you aim to go to. There could have been people that you were trying to work with that just simply cannot come with you because they just can't. And because Taurus is a fixed sign, they're a fixed earth sign, so they really ground that energy down and they hold that, okay? And Tauruses can get to a point where they hold on to specific standards and environments a bit too tight, to where they stay there and they're immobile. And it gets to a point where you become so comfortable there that you end up feeling caged or restricted, right? So funny. Sagittarius energy is out here again with this card, Queen of Coins or Queen of Pentacles, which is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So you have more Taurus and Capricorn energy, but also she rules over a specific part of Sagittarius. And what I was going to say was every sign is being guided to look at Sagittarius and Pisces reading, because we're essentially learning the bigger aspect of things, and the question that's asked to all signs is primarily in that video, but I'll say it here as well. With the goals that you're setting, the environment that you're in, the people that you're building and bonding with, is this good enough for you? The effort that you are putting in, if you're in a place of people pleasing and you're trying to figure out why these people that you're trying to please aren't giving you the reaction that you're looking for, it's because what you're essentially doing, you're doing it for other people. You're not doing it for yourself. So the question that's being asked is, are you seeing the higher and bigger picture of why these things are playing out the way that they are? Are you okay with this? Okay. But yeah, that aspect of, this isn't good enough for me, it ties right back into that question. Is this good enough for you? And if it's not good enough for you, how do you plan on changing it? Okay. Let's see what... Oh, I didn't even talk about Libra. My bad, I'm sorry. Libra, excuse me. That message was for you too, but let's talk about how Saturnian energy is showing up for you. So, Libra is in your 5th house, and I said Libra, Lord. Hold on, wait a minute. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, Libra. Capricorn is in your 4th house. Aquarius is in your 5th house. There we go. So essentially, you're learning about providing for yourself. You're wanting to be independent. You're coming from a place of wanting to establish security for yourself, because maybe when security was provided for you, it didn't work. It never worked. It wasn't secure enough. It wasn't safe enough. It wasn't welcoming enough. It wasn't free. You're essentially learning how these relationships help you to either feel safe or feel hindered. Right? I feel like Libra, because Aquarius is in your fifth house, especially when it comes to what you want to establish for your children. If you have children, if you are a mom, there are certain aspects that you are coming to realize that you need to keep in mind when it comes to your children. Who are you bringing around? Are they safe for your children? Essentially, the same way you would want to provide security and the best that you could possibly provide for your child, you need to apply that same energy to yourself as well, so you do not get lost in people pleasing for other people, and then you're realizing, oh dear God, let's talk about it. Please do not fall into the habit and cycle of projecting on your children the thanks that they should give you for the love that you provide. Understand this. You chose to be a parent. You chose to take care of this child that you have. You made that decision. That child didn't make you or force you to do that. You chose to do that for that child. Do your due diligence and come to realize what aspects of this role that you're claiming on that you need to align with in order to provide for this child, in order to provide for yourself, because that may be a lesson for you. If you can't provide security and safety for yourself, how can you provide it for somebody else? And then get mad that you gave this person what you didn't have. Why didn't you check yourself first? Okay. All right, now. Let me do this other clarifier. I'm going to get in on this because Venus aspects, which is Libra and Taurus, you guys talk about, or you guys focus on the aspects of how we as people love things, right? So Taurus, you're the energy that helps us to understand why we form the relationships that we form with the things that we love. Libras, you guys help us to understand how we need to balance out this love that we have for said thing, and how we should also apply that love towards self. So for example, if your favorite color is green, you know, you may have came across this because one of your favorite toys when you were 2 was green, right? So now you come across other people and you find that their favorite color is red. And you're like, red. I wouldn't really see why people would like red. I mean, green is here. But you understand what your likes are and how they differ from other people's likes, but how they also reflect each other. You have a favorite color, this other person has a favorite color. It's just different. Just different. Moving on. All right. I'm sorry. We're okay. We're going here. All right. Fine. Have at it. So, Libra, Taurus, the cards that came out, what you need to focus on energetically. You need to focus on processing your emotions when it comes to how you provide the security, or why you're learning about what you are essentially building with other people and yourself. Look at this card here. Hopefully you can see it. Look at this guy here. This man, especially Libra. Oh, listen. I love when this happens. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? I love when this happens. Do you see how Taurus and Libra are in the same card? I wanted to do something different. Come on here, alignment. You are essentially being given the fucking keys to establish balance within yourself, especially Libra. Taurus, you could be establishing boundaries and balance with what's being brought to light, with what you are building, what you are coming to build. You are building the new. We are stepping into this new moon cycle this week. And we're being asked, now that you know what you know, with this Venus energy, which is your ruling planet, Libra and Taurus. Now that you know what you know, now that you know your inner desires, granted you have allowed yourself to get in touch with your inner desires. You have allowed yourself to break free from certain binds and contracts that don't suit you. You could have been at a job that didn't suit you. You could have been in a relationship that didn't suit you. You could have been in an environment that didn't suit you. You could have been in some business partnerships that didn't suit you. You could have signed up with a bank that doesn't suit you. You could have had a manager that doesn't suit you. Okay? Now that you know what you know about the different desires that are out there, the different temptations that are out there, and how you can succumb to being too comfortable within one of these, that you don't explore others, or you become fixated on wanting that one thing from everybody else. The reason why I had my mouth open the way that I did, we have some really deep shadow aspects that are coming out. And yes, let's talk about it actually. So, the reason why I said we have some shadow aspects coming out, because with Uranus and Mars and Black Moon, I'll talk about her now. With that being tropically in Taurus and sidereally in Aries, I'm gonna talk about Taurus first. Taurus, Uranus and Mars is essentially in your 12th and first house, so you are coming to a new understanding of who you are, how you stand out. You have been changing and going through changes for quite some time. It has probably shaken you up because you're so used to holding on and grounding down certain energies, and you're used to and accustomed to certain things and people having that same energy, or you are wanting that energy reflected, as far as like you holding on to certain things, or the way that you ground certain things down. You lay down a certain foundation. Not a lot of people are going to be able to do that, reciprocate that, give that to you at the capacity that you need it to be given. And that with that Uranus and Mars energy is like, in a sense, what I'm trying to get at is you have no other choice but to move with these changes, because there's literally the more that you try to resist it, the stronger that this push is going to be. With it being in your 12th house, if we're speaking from a sidereal point of view, with these planets being in your 12th house, if you want to talk about Mars and Uranus and Aries, Mars would essentially be home, but it's what has accumulated with Uranus that Mars is acting on. It's like, wow, with everything that has been accounted for, all these changes and everything given with Uranus energy, Mars is now, especially being conjunct, is like it's catching up with itself. And this really could have changed you psychologically, Taurus. It could have changed your appearance. It could have changed the way that you showed up. It could have changed the way that you think about money, the way you think about yourself, the way you think about the people that you surround yourself with and engage with, live with, have sex with. It could have also highlighted some shadow aspects in which you were acting from, especially with Black Moon being so close to Uranus and Mars. I think it's actually in the middle of the two, if I'm not mistaken. With that being said, there were some things, especially about your shadow, that you may have come to realize, and the way that you were fixated on a certain desire may have been a shadow aspect that you needed to work on. That is something that you had held on to, and because you know how they say you're hotter in the summer if you wear black, because the sun is being hey Cardinal, it's so red, hello, oh it is too, come on, I love it. Aries energy in the house, cardinal energy in the house, which is Capricorn, Aries, Cancer, and Libra. I was just getting ready to get on Libra. You could be Libra, you could be dealing with a Taurus. Taurus, you could be dealing with a Libra. But Taurus, it really could have showed you how you were absorbing all of this. My bad, that's where I was getting at. The summer. Okay. In the summer, when you wear black, the sun is being absorbed by your clothes. All the darkness is pretty much counteracting the light, or not counteracting. It's balancing. It's being able to absorb the light, and the light is being able to heat up, I guess, essentially. Y'all get what I'm saying? Heat up, light up, whatever. But in terms of your shadow, you're absorbing all of this light. You're absorbing, the glitz and glamour, the gold, or what's gold plated. Okay. You are coming to understand that with certain changes, there are things that literally go through the natural process of transformation, which includes you. And the way that that shows up, it may reflect in the way that you weren't really anticipating. Now with Libra energy, because it had came out, you would essentially, speaking from a sidereal aspect, if we're talking about Uranus, Mars, and Black Moon in Aries, that would essentially be in your 7th house. So for you could have come to realize how some of the relationships that you have formed were, what you thought was gold, it was actually gold plated. And cardinal energy just popped up. I'm trying to. You're essentially learning how these things reflect yourself. The relationships that you form reflect yourself. How things have transpired reflect yourself. Because with that being in your 7th house, it could show you that you're sometimes your biggest enemy is yourself. because you have become fixated on pleasing these people in order to keep up this facade. And now you're coming to realize how that has restricted you from acting on certain things or building with certain people or getting certain things built. Be it a healthy relationship with, family members, friends, work, to even the way that you build your diet, the way that you build your body, the way that you're servicing yourself as you're engaging in these relationships. How are you treating yourself when you're in these relationships? Are you allowing yourself to be treated with love, or are you allowing yourself to be treated with what people are willing to give to the piece of you that you show, and not your whole self in totality? Right? Now, back to the cards that came out. Feel how you feel about it, but 6 of Wands, 6 of Cups, and 6 of Swords came out. Okay? Now, let's talk about it. 6 of Wands, right? You know what? Let me actually... Okay. Sometimes I type my notes. Sometimes I write my notes. Either way you flip it, notes are being taken. Yeah. I could have sworn I wrote all of this down. Did I not? No, I just wrote about the court cards. God damn it. Oh, man. Oh, that's really, really whack. And again, I wonder if my bad, y'all. I'm really sitting here looking like I know I wrote this stuff down. I really take a lot of notes. You know what? Bump it. What I was going to say was I was going to look at the planetary. You know what? Anyway, with 6 of Wands, you are coming to like the... Ooh! Came out again in this other deck. You're essentially coming to... Oh. Hold on. You're essentially coming to realize there is a particular confidence that you may have reached, or there is a confidence that you are now understanding that you need to reach in order to establish a new foundation. Like, there needs to be new. There needs to be something to your standard, and that is that. There needs to be something that, reflects who you are, how you show up. So I knew there was a reason why I was feeling Jupiter. This is Jupiter in Leo. This is showing you the bigger aspect of when you have a certain confidence and you wait for that to show up, it shows up and it shows out in Leo fashion. It shows out. Okay? Now, with this, because Libra, I'm feeling this for you as far as the sidereal. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get to it. The sidereal aspect, if we're talking about yours, Mars, and Black Moon being in Aries, this will be in your 7th house. And what's funny is there's this character in the background that looks like real smug, like real Snoop Dogg and Baby Boy like. Real like, little bitch. How the fuck you got that? I'm vulgar. I'm not even about to sit here and sugarcoat anything. I am vulgar. That's how I show up, okay? And now, okay, let's talk about the flip side. So you could be dealing with somebody that's like that, and that's not your steez. You very well are being guided to move if you feel like you need to. Mercury, this is Mercury. Ooh, this is Mercury in Aquarius, so that could be your guidance to move. You better move. Ooh, stepping on my heart. Somebody stepping on your heart. If somebody's stepping on your heart, you are most definitely, because we don't do that. And that's probably why the inner child card came out. This is Sun in Scorpio, so you could be dealing with a Scorpio. But there was something that was, wow, there's a lot of polar energy happening here. You may have met your match, or you are literally seeing a reflection of you, and there is something that you are missing. And that's why this Mercury retrograde, especially with Mercury in Aquarius popping out here, this Mercury retrograde is showing you where you need to review certain things so that you are able to get a better view of what you are actually seeing. Are you actually seeing what you're seeing, or are you missing the point? Somebody could be stepping on your heart. Somebody could be jealous of you, or you could be jealous of somebody, Libra or Taurus. But I said Libra because that would be your 7th house, which is your what is it? Is that your known enemies or unknown enemies? That's an aspect of it, because it's not just, relationships like the ones that we like. There's also the ones that we don't like. And I feel like these are the ones that are like in our faces. So yeah, because he's in the crowd. He's around this crowd. So it's somebody that's usually in our faces that's like, oh yeah, I want good for you. I want the best for you. I want you to be on your high horse. That's like, why? Somebody could be jealous of the way that you make money. Somebody could be jealous of the way that you have people that actually love you. Ew. Ugh. We are off that. But shadow aspects. This could be somebody that you've known since childhood. This could be somebody that you have lived with since childhood. But there's jealousy here, be it from you or towards you. And the person that is either the target of the jealousy, they're moving. They're essentially especially with this popping out and tropically Mercury is in Aquarius, they're moving. And they're still going to be on their high horse, and they're still going to have their inner child within them. They're still going to have that balance. They're still going to have that wisdom, that intellect. And they're still going to have that abundance. Be mad. Y'all better cut that shit out. For real. Okay? Because the mask is coming off. Y'all better cut that shit out. And that's the double truth, Ruth. Okay? What I was going to say astrologically, because I forgot to talk about how tropically Uranus, Mars, and Black Moon is in Taurus. And Libra, that would be in your 8th house. So you could be literally breaking away from certain contracts that have tried to hold you back, especially growing with other people, networking with other people, growing with other people, talking to other people, having sex with other people, spending money with and on other people. Eek. Cut it out. The mask is coming off with that. If you needed a confirmation, alert. Saturn is literally showing you the compilation of this energy, and you could have had inklings about it, but you were like, nah, not this person. They would love me. That was your shadow aspect. You were fixed on that desire. You were fixed on that one person giving you that one thing. You forgot about these other aspects of you. Don't do that. Mercury's like, okay, are you crossing your T's and dotting your I's? Are you asking all the questions that need to be asked? Are you being fully honest? Are you truly being authentic in the way that you show up? Come on now, you being handed the keys to balance your shit. What you fitting to do? That with Dream Girls popping out. Stepping on my heart. I said move. Hold on, wait. Excuse me, because she put some umph in that shit. She said, I said move. I can't even do it. Jennifer did that, okay? She said move. Move. You probably need to, listen, you probably need to put a little bit of bass in your voice. Tell these motherfuckers to move. They stepping on your heart. They stepping on your art. They're stepping on the creation that God made you to be. They better fucking move. Not stepping on the dot. You better move. That's all I'm saying. Move, child. Don't be getting in nobody's way. Don't get in your own way holding on to these people and wondering why your blessings are not coming in. You could be seeing how these are energetic blockages. And it's like, whoa, I didn't think that would affect me as much. Or I didn't think that was so much of a block. But now that I've removed myself, now that that's out of the picture, I'm seeing things clear now. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. Elephants never forget. Excuse me. Okay, Taurus? So that's something that you need to be aware of, child. Don't let nobody step on your heart and your inner child. I literally said that for somebody. Who was it? I think that was Gemini and Virgo's reading where I was talking about not allowing your inner child to be tormented, dragged, and don't let anybody don't that treat your stemming back to what I was saying earlier about Libra and the child. Maybe it's inner child work. Maybe it's inner child work, and you have to protect yourself as if you would your own child. How are you going to move forward with that? You have to provide for yourself as you would your child. How are you doing that? And because you are in this space, don't allow other people to be parasitic in ways that they're like, oh, I can take care of you. I can do this for you, to where they are trying to make you feel incapable of taking care of yourself. You are grown. You are capable of making your own decisions. And you are smart as a whip, and you have standards that show that. I ain't letting people play you. Y'all, okay, listen. People keep playing with Venusian signs because they think she's all lovey-dovey and stuff like that. But listen here. She is the love of things as well. Not just loving things, the love of things. So if people have love of chaos, people have a love of destroying your shit, people have a love of slapping you upside your head, people have a love of manipulating you, people have a love of using you, people have a love, man, y'all better stop playing. Get hip. Venus is not just, oh, I love butterflies and I love flowers and I love cookies and tacos. No. Venus is the love of money. Venus is the love of clothes. Venus is the love of doing what the fuck I gotta do to get to what the fuck I wanna get by any means necessary. Y'all better stop playing. Y'all better stop it. Venus, especially Venus in Aries or Venus in Scorpio. Or Venus in Capricorn. Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop. I ain't even have to say it, bro. I was just about to say, them the warriors. Them the ones that got the warriors on them. Y'all better stop. Y'all better stop. You better move. I ain't even have to say it, bro. I ain't even have to say it. That's been y'all reading. It's been real. Y'all better,